Every once in a while, you come across somebody and you just know they've got something special. They've just got that look in their eye and they're just going to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. That's what I saw in Sean Bell when I met him for the first time. He was delivering his presentation on how he ran 50 marathons in 50 days. When he started talking about it, I said, this guy's nuts. Who can run 50 marathons in 50 days?
When we first took Sean on, and first really after the first conversation we had with him, we're like, this guy's pretty special. He's going to do some amazing things. If he's already talking about 50 marathons in 50 days, I wonder what he's going to do next.
Sean would always be doing these extended warm-ups before training. You get there, like training when it starts at about 6, you get there, honestly, it felt like at 4:45, and he'd just be running like, he wants someone out there. So I found it, yeah, he always had a big drive from early on, and I loved it. It always helped feel like you improved when you were just being around him.
Sean's an interesting character. I think he's an old man in a young man's body, because his approach to what he's doing is pretty special.
He's an impressive young man. He is wise beyond his years and one of the most determined people that I've ever met.
Being an ultra runner means a lot to me. I think the reason I love it so much is ultra running is very much like life. You have very hard moments and you have moments of pure joy and bliss, and it can change very quickly as well. So you can be out there on the road, on the trails, and you're going through an amazing period where you're all smiles, and then all of a sudden you can't talk. You are in the pain cave, and then you come out of it, and you come out of it again, you go back in it, you come out of it. And that's why I love ultra running. I think it is so similar to life, and ultra running is where I get to know myself at the deepest level. It's where I can push the barriers in my mind and my body and take myself to a level that I've never been before. And when you can connect that and use it for the betterment of others, then that's just so special. So ultra running for me is an opportunity to push my body and mind to inspire others to achieve what's most meaningful to them.
He's done the work, he's got the right people behind him, and he's going to achieve this goal and change people's lives.
Every wish is unique. There's currently 800 children waiting for their wish to be granted, and for them it may be their wish is to go to the Gold Coast theme parks as a family, or Disneyland. It may be to get a puppy. It may be to run with their favourite AFL team. Maybe to get a jet ski. Whatever it is, it's very unique to the child. It's very individual, and that's what makes it so special as well. I think so many people look at me and what I'm doing like, how is that your dream, to run from Cairns to Melbourne? Well, it is. And I think having that unique dream for me in order to help make these other dreams come true, that's pretty special. I wanted to do something that would take a little bit less time, that was still huge. And so I decided to undertake this Cairns to Melbourne run purely because it was 3,600 kilometres from Cairns to Melbourne, and I realised that if I run 60 k's a day for 60 days, that's 3,600. So it seemed like the right place to start, and I decided to raise money and awareness for Make-A-Wish, and it's special to be supporting such a great charity. We're here at Crystal Cascades in Cairns and really just enjoying some time to adventure. We start the run tomorrow morning, so enjoying today to also rest the mind, rest the body, and it's a really good bonding opportunity for our support crew as well. So Maxi, we've got Guido, we've got Yanni and Zach here as well, and together just enjoying getting to know each other. Well, they are anyway, obviously I know them well. And we'll start tomorrow morning at first light. So 6 a.m, the journey begins.
So Max, we love Max. Max was Sean's right hand and left hand and in front man for the almost every single minute of the run. He was, particularly in the early stages, once they got through the teething stages that any relationship has, he was really doing everything to try and let Sean focus on just doing the run. So he was driving the van from stage to stage and organising food and doing all the rest of it. But one of the logistical issues they had was really just keeping the route in place. You had road closures, you had places which in planning looked like they were great routes and turned out not to be, particularly with a large camper van.
So we're here, it is Sunday late afternoon, just before we start tomorrow morning, and I've got Yanni, my physio. He's a great man, looking after me. So this is just a bit of activation ahead of tomorrow, a nice flush of my legs and working through my low back as well. So we can hit tomorrow morning ready to go, feeling strong.
Look, I've been training Sean now for what, 3-4 years? And he's always been quite a driven and self-motivated individual, and when he says he's going to do something, he'll do it. So even though I think what he's doing starting tomorrow is bloody nuts, he'll get it done. His body will be sore, he'll put a lot of stress through his body, but he'll find a way to get it done. It's just as simple as that.
Going into the run, I was nervous. I think it's very easy to look at your preparation short term, and in my short term preparation, it wasn't ideal. I had some bursitis pain in my foot that I was battling with. I had a calf injury, and prior to that, really, I haven't had injuries for the last 4 years.
I think the first day of the run will set the tone of the next 60 days. I think it's good to find a good rhythm and a good routine moving forward.
I think the first few days are going to be a bit, I wouldn't say messy, but a little bit chaotic in that we won't really know how much he's going to eat. I guess we won't really understand how much 5,500 calories to 8,000 calories is until we make it, and make it often. So I think, yeah, we'll give it our best crack at making it as much as we can the day before. But I feel like the first week we might be making it on the go just to help him get him through those calories. Hopefully by about week 2, it's all ready to go. He's ready to eat, and we can just chill back and watch him run.
Feeling good. Feeling good. I was ready to go. I was a bit nervous last night, even coming into night 1. So I've had bursitis pain the last couple of months, and it sort of crept back in, but you have to understand, I think, that it's never going to be just the right time. There's always going to be something that may pop up in any challenge like this. So we're here, I think, just got to embrace the fact that we're here now, and now's the time. So absolutely can't wait. Let's get started at 6 a.m. and yeah, can't wait to see what happens. Alright, ready? And I.
Good luck,
Beautiful. Bang! Day 1. 60 kilometers and still feeling strong. So now to recover. Let's go, day 2, baby.
That's pretty good. Don't tell him. Isn't one of the values of this trip integrity?
Oh, yes. Berries, banana, pineapple, peanut butter, collagen, yogurt. The works, really. Big breakfast because it's hard to eat whilst running, like eat sufficiently. So small things when I'm running, big breakfast, big lunch when we have a rest, and big dinner.
We got told that the motorhome had to be behind Sean the whole time, so that's 8 to 10 hour days sitting at 8 to 9 kilometres an hour behind Sean, not doing anything else but sitting there driving behind. We couldn't prepare any food. We can only prepare basic wraps, which he got flavour fatigue from very quickly. But that was the only thing we could do. And you come out exhausted from the hot northern Queensland sun and be asking for all these things and be like, we haven't been able to do all of them.
It feels so hot.
Is it?
Very hot. I think it's 30 degrees or 29 or something. It's humid. Running at a good pace. Obviously day 2, so I don't want to get too quick, too far ahead of myself, but 15 so far. It's a bit of a tricky section, as you can see, very narrow roads and single lanes, so trying to get out of this area as quick as possible, just to be safe. You're exhausted, you're in a state of mind where it's just about doing whatever you can to be able to achieve the goal. You're constantly breaking things down and you're constantly prioritising what's important. You can't do everything every single day. So maybe at the end of the day, tonight's focus is on washing. So then let's get takeaway if we can, if there's takeaway options around. Otherwise, tonight is all about cooking and washing's going to have to wait. So we did our best to manage it, but it also was just something that we really learnt on the go. One person in particular who I couldn't believe their level of support, and that was Cameron Mackay. He was this person that I met, and I remember walking into his office on day 1 to pay for the 5 of us. And I walked in to pay, and I explained the 60 for 60 for 60 and why we were there. And he said, "That's amazing, mate. I'm going to take $60 off your booking." From that point onwards, he became our campsite coordinator. And every single night he was calling ahead, organising where we were going to stay, and he was an amazing person and just one example of the sort of people that we came across on the journey.
G'day. Keep up the good work, Shauno.
Since getting to know Cam, having a really good chat today when I was running and he was riding next to me, I learned a little bit more about his story, and I'm going to ask Cam to share a little bit about that. But one of the goals of this run is to inspire people to start really living their dreams. I think so many people live as if they're going to live forever, and sometimes it takes a dark moment to consider a light moment. For me, it was losing my friend and football teammate in 2016, and that's what put me on this journey of ultra running to make a difference. And I think Cam's got a pretty amazing story that I'd love to share.
Life does go on, and it's too short and it's too precious. Too often, we get stuck in a rut of everyday life and doing what we're doing and looking after family. And recently we lost our son, and it was in an unexpected car accident, which is always unexpected, and it's every parent's worst nightmare. Just turned 18 and still hadn't finished off his year 12, so he'd had a job lined up and had his future ahead of him and had all these dreams, and so it's just shattered the family. But we've got 3 other kids that we've got to keep inspiring and keep pushing them to chase their dreams. And the eldest daughter, she finishes year 12 at the end of this year, and she wants to go on a road with us and do another lap around Australia, which fortunately we did do 10 years ago, and our eldest son got to experience a lot that other people don't experience. But so we're going to relive that dream and do another lap next year.
Day 3, baby. All right, so far, each morning we're getting up later and later. Just 5 unorganised men doing our very best. I feel like this isn't right. She loves the camera.
The best kelpie out.
Don't you listen?
Black root,
Day 3. We are 10.6 k's in. These boys have the motorhome pumping. Tunes behind me, day 4. Hello on day 6.
That was entirely unexpected for all of us, and I knew that I had to call Sean. He was only about 5 days into the run at that point in time. I knew it was going to be one of the hardest calls I'd ever had to make, and it obviously turned out to be that. But I also knew in my heart, I guess, while I was sort of dealing with that he would, if anything, use it as fuel to finish more.
Day 7 of the Run for Wishes, I had a phone call from my business partner, DJ, and it was the hardest phone call I've ever had in my life. I found out that my running coach, Jase and my business partner with First 42K had passed away suddenly. And from that point onward, I just sort of thought, how am I gonna do this? You know, this is massive. How am I gonna find the strength to be able to push 60 kilometers or more every single day with this news and this weight on my shoulders and that in the front of my mind? But I think one thing that's got me through that was just trusting that I'd be okay and knowing that ultimately we started this journey together, and now I want to be able to finish it off for him. It was very clear to me that I was committed to finishing this off. I wanted to honour Jase, and that became the third big reason why to this mission. And I knew that if I could just take it day by day, break it down as much as possible, I'd be able to get through it. Just wanted to jump on here and say that obviously feeling multiple emotions right now and struggling a lot with the passing of my coach, and so I apologise for not being as active on socials and sharing where we are. I think support crew are going to take over a lot more, because I do think it's important to update you guys where I am, how I'm going, how I'm feeling. I know that there's been a lot of support and people want to follow that, and I respect that, but I also am struggling to find the strength to do this sort of thing, chat to camera whilst running and whilst grieving. Lacing up my runners and running every day with Jase at the front of my mind was incredibly tough, but it was also very motivating. I wanted to achieve this goal more than ever, and I think that's when I really relied on my support crew around me to get me in the position to be able to undertake 60 kilometers or more per day. So I'm very grateful to have Maxi with me through that entire 60 days, because grief comes and goes and it hits you in waves, and there's days and moments where I feel great and I'm energized, I'm out there, I'm loving the run, and then there's moments where I don't want to be out there and it all feels too much.
Grief is just such a tough thing. You just don't, there's no real words to say as being there for each other, but it was pretty clear that we needed someone else to be a part of this to help Sean. Pete Kavanagh, otherwise known as the GOAT, came up. He was obviously going through his own grief as well, but you could tell he was there to help Sean through this initially tough patch. And you know, every run they'd go out together, you could see them chatting. Like Sean, when it was starting to happen, like when it all happened, Sean wasn't eating, obviously in a pretty horrid mood, and just very not really saying much. Every time he'd come out with GOAT, you'd see a smile, or they'd come in laughing, and he'd be chamber and just slowly returning to himself. And you know, by the time it came to the 1,000 kilometre, he was doing the GOAT dance. So it was just amazing to have a community like that come and support.
We're going well, day 13 and 740 Ks in the bank. Looks like day 16 will be the special day.
There he is. Lifelong bully in the flesh.
Can you keep up with me? 7:30 per kilometre right now. It is day 15.
Terrible.
Like the side stuff. We come across here, we give it a bit of this. We tell the copper to go and get no, we don't. We hit it with this.
Where are the poppers?
Coming now. He's off.
Good morning on day 20 and good morning on day 21.
Start of day 24.
Feeling good?
Feeling good.
Day 26, running into Brisbane. Have a look at this. Absolutely stunning. 57 Ks in now on day 30, which means that we are just 1 kilometre away from the 2,000 kilometre milestone mark. Good morning on day 31. I'm with Dale. He's joined the crew. With my friend Victor. It is day 39 and we're
It is pissing down here at the G.
Let's go! Any rainbow too.
It was really important to celebrate on that big run, to celebrate the milestones. So the 1,000 kilometres, the 2,000, the 3,000. I think there was some watermelon smashing that happened at 2,000, and that sort of celebrating of the little things in a big thing is actually really important.
Mushroom explosion. Enjoying that honey smothered brekkie, mate? Where does honey come from?
Birds.
Birds. Bloke thought they come from fucking birds.
I meant
before.
to say bees.
Birds. I think he's thinking about the birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Is that gonna... I won't go there actually because we're filming, but anyway.
You asked for tissues, here's your tissues. It's toilet paper.
Now look what you've done.
Use it.
You've made a mess.
Use it.
Mate, you've made a mess.
Day 47. Currently hiking this hill, or doing a mix of hiking and running it. 52 kilometers in and feeling very fatigued right now.
Hey guys, Sean here. Just checking in, day 51.
Yeah. We gotta get going because do you know why? These K's aren't gonna bank themselves, baby! Come on!
Sean calling his mum. He loves his mum. We love that. We love men that love their mums. I love them.
Gonna be cooking the guts too, but we'll get through it. 39 kilometers in here on day 55 and it's hailing. Smitty's out here still. Oh my god. It's probably 4 degrees right now. Day 55, running into a massive headwind.
People told me that April was going to give a big one.
So the rain's coming down now. Smithy's still on the bike. I've just had a blood nose. Don't know what's happening there. Day 56. It's in the books, baby! What do you want? Bad romance challenge. Whoa, 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 whoa. Caught in a bad romance. What?
Day 58.
We just run past Chelsea, so on our way into Melbourne City. Update, I'm running on Chapel Street with Liz and Maxie. We've made it to Melbourne, so I'm on the way to Make-A-Wish. On day 58, we were able to run past Make-A-Wish's office, and that was so special. I think to me, walking in, opening the door, and then seeing all of the staff who'd stopped their work completely just to celebrate the Run for Wishes achievement and congratulate myself and my support crew walking in. was remarkable, and it gave me goosebumps, and it's one of my favourite memories from the entire run. I think it really showed me how much it meant to them, and one thing that Make-A-Wish regularly talk about is how they don't get government support, so they rely on community people like us to go out there and fundraise for them. And I was just playing my small part of running, doing something that I love to make a difference, but seeing what it meant to them and then knowing the happiness that it'll bring other families was amazing.
We're so grateful for the work that you've done and what you've put your body through, which is unfathomable to most of us. I've got a couple of questions for you. So you've done 60, how far have you gone so far? What are you on?
Total, we started today on 3,806 kilometres so far, and I'm 56 into today, so I'm not great at maths. If someone is, about 3,860 so far.
Amazing,
yeah.
Amazing. And you just hit 62k.
Yeah.
Fun race. So you've already gone past your 60, which is amazing. We're so grateful. And the Wish team has told me today, since you've been running, they've granted 62 wishes. So it's all just lined up for today.
Yeah, 2 more days after this.
What's it been like?
It's been really good. Like, I've loved every minute. It's obviously hard.
Yeah.
I'm very tired, but I'm also very happy and very fulfilled. So it's been an amazing journey, and Maxie at the back there has been with me the whole time as my right hand man. So
thank you, Max.
A Melbourne man has just completed the final leg of his 4,000-kilometre run to raise funds for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
The Victorian man has completed a lap around the MCG on the final leg of his 3,700-kilometre run from Cairns to Melbourne. Sean Bell is doing 60 kilometres a day for 60 days to raise $60,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, so DJ, one of my best mates and business partner that I spoke about, he organised for myself, for Maxie, my brothers, some of my closest friends to run around the MCG on day 59, and it was goosebumps material. Like, I genuinely felt goosebumps running around the MCG, and I think for me that really came from the fact that we're in Melbourne, we've come all this way and we're here.
We had a video playing on the screen with some of the rushes from his run, and I think we had the AFL siren play for him as he came off the ground. So all of that was really special. It was fantastic to see the smile on his face as he did those laps with a bunch of mates. the original goal was just Cairns to Melbourne. It was about 3,600 Ks, so it was 60 Ks a day for 60 days. He pushed into some 80K days here and there. He got to Melbourne with about 3 or 4 days to spare, and he's like, well, why not go for 4,000 kilometres? So, and that's ultimately, you know, exactly how Jase and I think. And again, what we saw in Sean originally, like this guy is someone who pushes things beyond where most people do.
I thought I'd dress up for last day. Very excited to run with the community today, and I have 69 kilometres to go till we reach our big goal of 4,000 kilometres, so can't wait to get started. Let's get it.
We were sitting on $45,000 at day 57. That's how much money we'd raised for Make-A-Wish, and we had our fingers and toes crossed that we were going to hit our fundraising goal of $60,000 by day 60. By day 57, at the end of day 57, we'd hit $60,000, and the momentum that developed was extraordinary. People were donating, sending messages, media were jumping on, and by the end of the run, literally by day 60, we'd already raised about $85,000. So a week post the run, we're at $97,000. People are jumping in, still donating. They're incredibly inspired by the work that Make-A-Wish do, and it's amazing to see these donations come in.
Cheers for Sean in the event.
There's many sacrifices that go into this. I think people always see the runner at the front, but it does take an entire team to be able to achieve a goal this big.
The goal in life is really to help other people, and if you're doing something that's really hard, so if you work really hard at something, you become what other people see as a bit of an expert, or they just go, oh yeah, he must just be natural, he must be really good. So Sean must be really good at running because he looks like he's comfortable when he finishes each of his 60-kilometre days. The reality is that comes from thousands and thousands of hours of really hard work, lots of letdowns, lots of things not going right, lots of questioning your coaches, am I doing the right thing? I don't seem to be running far enough. But you trust in that process, you put in the hours, and it becomes what looks to other people like it's comfortable, but in reality it's still incredibly hard. You then do that for the benefit of other people, and there is something really special about that. And ultimately I think what all of us should be aiming for, it's doing good for other people through things that challenge us, that make ourselves grow, but ultimately benefit people more than just ourselves. And that's something I really see in how Sean lives his life and how I try to live my life as well.
There are too many people that go through their life scared of stepping out of the comfort zone and achieving what it is that they want to achieve. Sean's a living example of stepping out of that comfort zone and doing it, but also to share that message with other people, to say, hey, don't waste your time. You don't know what you've got tomorrow, so you may as well live your dreams today.
I'm incredibly proud to share that we have smashed that fundraising goal, and to date, today as we're filming just a week after the run, we have currently fundraised $97,000 for Make-A-Wish. So that will bring so much hope and happiness to these sick children and their families.
So the Cairns to Melbourne run was actually a backstop from what he had originally committed to, which was the run around Australia at that time. In hindsight, I think it was a really good backstop because it was a great way to train him as to how that plays out on the ground, get the logistics right, to train his coaches as to how things would work in the lead up to a full-on run around Australia, and obviously he has now committed to that.
It's been a year now since we finished the Cairns to Melbourne run, and now I turn my focus to 2024, when I'm running 14,000 kilometres around Australia to raise $1.4 million for Make-A-Wish. Let's do this.